The wagon master had ridden off then, riding a Morgan horse that could either pull or ride. A lummox kind of horse, Francis thought, and Francis checked his rifle, made sure the percussion cap was on the nipple tightly, and wheeled the mare toward a ridge off to the north. If the truth were known, he was glad to be away from the train. He had often been alone in the last year, even when he was with Grimes. Sometimes when they were trapping, he was alone for a full day, now and then longer. He had in some ways come to enjoy it. He didn't have to talk to people, and it gave him time for thinking. And he needed to think now. He let the mare pick up the pace to a trot. She wanted to run, but he held her back in case he needed speed later, and guided her with his knees until they were on the ridge. Then he eased her over and down the side a bit, so he wouldn't be outlined against the sky. It was something Grimes had taught him. Against the sky it was too easy to be seen, either by game or enemy, and when he was well down from the edge, he swung the mare left and headed west. He worked his eyes and ears automatically and let his mind start going over the problem. He felt as if his life had a hole torn in the middle of it, almost the same feeling he'd had when he was taken from the wagon train, and he realized with some surprise that it came from leaving Mr. Grimes. Francis had not thought they were that close, and in some measure hated the man, and now this? To feel this missing, the one-armed mountain man? It made no sense. The mare slowed, and Francis saw her ears perk forward, and she looked suddenly to the right front as a covey of quail jumped from some brush. Francis was sliding off the side of the horse and halfway to the ground, the rifle cocked and swinging up under the mare's neck, when he saw a coyote come out of the brush with a quail in his mouth. Could have been anything, he smiled, eased the hammer down to the safety click, and remounted. Anything. His feet found the stirrups, and he kneed the mare into motion once again. The ridge he was riding alongside started to rise, and in front ended where it hit a shallow bluff. He couldn't see over the bluff and moved back up the ridge to the left and made sure there was a place where the wagon train, now moving slowly about 2 miles to his left and rear, would have room to get through the bluffs. He still didn't ride the mare to the top of the ridge, but moved up just until his head was high enough to see, and then back down. The bluff ahead beckoned him more. Grimes was, for the moment, out of his thinking. There was something about seeing over the next hill, some need, and he heeled the mare to pick up the pace. She stepped into an easy canter and climbed the shallow back of the bluff, and stopped just as she came on top. And it was here that Francis saw the edge of the world. Spread out below, reaching away to the horizon and beyond, reaching away west forever, the land, flat and impossibly large, lay before him. Francis did not finish. Even the mare had stopped, seemed to be staring at the view, her ears twitching to knock off flies. "It's too big," he said finally, and realized he meant it. The land was just too big to see, to own, too big to cross, too big for anything. It's bad enough on a horse, he thought. How could the wagons, the mile-an-hour wagons, ever hope to cross it? It would take them years. The prairie he had already crossed was enormous. Newspapers in the east called it a sea of grass. But Francis had never seen more than a hill or two at a time. This way, from the bluff edge, he could see it all, or a large part of it, and for a moment the bigness kept him from seeing details. Then the mare stumbled as a gopher hole caved in under her foot, and it snapped Francis back to reality. In detail, the plain before him proved to be not just empty grass, which he'd first thought. 3 or 4 miles to the west, there was a large, dark smudge that seemed to be surrounded by dust clouds.